What else is
No one is
there?
gonna watch it anyway, like usual. And we're live! Welcome to my unicorn meeting. We're halfway through. I got so many compliments from these guys about the unicorns. So it's basically one of those clubs where in German, we say like we swag each other's testicles, you know, like.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, say it in German.
But so, and it was.
Say it in German, guys. Say it in German. I want to hear it as well.
Sich gegenseitig die Eier schaukeln.
Die Eier schaukeln.
Yeah.
Okay.
Die Eier schaukeln.
Exactly. I think there was a line in Pulp Fiction that's like, hey, let's not all start sucking each other's dicks right now, you know?
That is exactly it, yeah.
It was a little different because he was like, hey, we're not done yet, you know? Like,
and you know, isn't it great? This is basically TV, you know, like, and it's online. People can watch it. Set a parental filter, guys. If you watch Pure Transparency. This is not suited for work, man. It's full transparency, but not suited for work.
Transparency, yeah. There's no filter.
Yeah, unrated. Watch out.
Hashtag no filter.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of TV and videos, okay, one comment I have is, I would I keep having ideas and thinking little thoughts of ways to present ourselves in little videos that act as like, hey, welcome to our lives as Giveth, and this is what we do, and oh, this is what unicorns are, this is what the Unicorn DAC is like. Oh, here's a little skit about, you know, what's a bun versus a cookie and shit like that. And I don't have any experience like making videos like this, but I know that you are very talented, so maybe more. I think that's definitely useful in a time where we're gearing up to present ourselves to people to invest in us as well. Like having more little like 1 minute long snippets.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I can do them technically very well, but you know, it's so much work. I love for other people to take the initiative and say, hey, let's do this. Like, I need a director basically, or I will handle all the technical stuff. It will be recorded in a nice way, and audio will be nice. But whatever happens in the video is, if I do everything, it's too much bandwidth for me. So yeah. I'm always game. Come to me with like, make ideas, and you know, you're like everybody who's kind of like has the energy to push something through. Even short videos are not so complicated.
Okay.
Yeah. Same. If you want to like have to me, it sounds like a fantastic idea. I would like to have so much more content, and it's helpful for people to have it in like written form on the wiki, but some people prefer it in video. Some people prefer podcasts. So whatever you want to like push, please. And I don't mind like if you like write it out, like these are, I think to do it in a way that that works and is sustainable, it's good if you have just like a few points. Like, this is what I want to tell in this video. And I don't mind checking or helping with the format to like kick it off. So yeah, that would be great, of course.
Cool. And yeah, my feedback honestly is like, you're an amazing unicorn. Like, you do such a good job, Kai. You're like, you always delegate on time. I feel like you always put all this thought into your delegations too. You're very careful about the way that you're steering the ship, which is awesome. That's what this experiment was about from the get-go. And you're always there for people. You're trying to inspire and instigate little partner work sessions. The GovLab initiative is really fun. I think it's a great way to loop other people into our community. And I have like been trying to stir up the bandwidth in myself to like lead a GovLab meeting or something, and I'm glad that you started the flow of it. I pretty much have only positive things to say.
Actually, something she said gave me an idea. You know, we have a few people that want to get into the community, like Gustavo and who's the other, and George even, you know, and like you're doing these GovLab things, and you're like, hey, who wants to do this? Maybe sending a personal invite to some of the newer guys that come around and express interest. And I think this is something everyone needs to do, you know, just be like, oh, hey, there's this guy who wants to like work with us. Like we should probably like include him somehow. Maybe like I think this is something everyone needs to do, but like just make special note and be like, hey, like let's do this, you know, and like reach out to them, like send them a personal message. That might be cool.
Yeah, I have to say though that I think is really what community meeting is for, because it's more because GovLab is, I mean, what you probably think of are these work sessions, and you know, it's basically what we do is just like open a stream. It's like we can do one now, you know, if you want. It's I like that it just comes from music theory, so it's like you know, alone you're just a note. But you know, you can, if you're two, you can make a power chord. You know, if you have three, you make a triage or a chord, and you know, it goes on until you have the full. And it's for different purposes. And yeah, totally. Let's ping them for community meeting. It could be. Yeah, it's just.
Well, community meeting doesn't get them to start working on something. You know,
yeah, like, it's more of like a spectator sport.
They get to come in and they get to see, you know, it's open, and yeah, they get to start. But then once they go there, what's next?
So what usually happens, we can see with our latest unicorns, like people like Michael or Jeff, you know, Donnie, it's very different how people come. One thing I've seen is if you come from like, if you enter the community through the chat, like finding Giveth, it's usually you are more into these things right from the start. Whereas if we recruit, it depends on the person's really interest to read all that stuff and go there. So I think it's part of recruiting. It's very crucial to tell them, hey, this is really all happening in the chat, and you need like to have some sort of social interaction. You have to participate. And I'm echoing there a bit.
What?
It's not too bad.
No, but it's for me.
I have the echo as well. It's on your side, guys. Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I'm always game for what we're really talking is onboarding in a way, and really how to get into the community. And we have seen with, like, I can remember Michael took like a month, you know, slowly going into it, and that's just the time it takes because there's a lot. And community meeting is one of the pillars. And yeah, I mean, GovLab is, you know, it's not a consistent thing. It's even more, it's very chaotic. It's supposed to be research and development. And these other work sessions are, I mean, so we should have more to spread it as a thing. It's also some, I mean, I can invite George for a work session, but it's just, you know, like, it would be a bit of a setup, you know, this is very organic. I like the way Josh proposed it, just say in the channel, hey, I'm on, I'm working, whatever, I'm up for a jam, like he says.
Yeah.
Jam, you know, and then you're online for an hour or something, and with a really lively community, you usually get somebody to join, and depending on time zone and whatever, I really think it would be awesome to have like a North American riff gig, like where Bowen would, you know, and George, just to make sense of, you know, our, it's not excluding anybody else, but it might be night for us, or, I mean, I'm gonna join in the night for, or maybe it's their night, I don't know, you know.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, time zones definitely make things difficult, but you know, I was just thinking, Gustavo, I don't know, you do all these open sessions, and but sometimes, you know, they when they put when it's like in a common channel, no one will see it. But you know, even just like, hey, it's happening, and then you reach out, and then he doesn't see it, you know, and doesn't come. But at least he's like, oh, they're trying to include me, you know.
Yeah.
I did talk to him yesterday, like on a chat, because he saw after 2 weeks that was on for notes because he said, I'm going to do the notes next week, which was my first community meeting host week. So I was like pinging Gustavo on Tuesday. I was like, hey, Gustavo, you agreed to community meeting thing, meeting notes. Are you there? And now he said like, oh, I did not see it. So yeah, sure, I'll ping him. And doing the notes is a great thing to be included in the community. Just do the notes. Yeah.
Yeah, we've both reached out to him for that. But yeah, I think he probably is looking for more ways to participate.
Yeah, there is always this kind of whole thing where usually after meeting up, we think we're so alone at home, you know, and the best thing is to reach out. But, you know, if we are 4 unicorns here, so if all of us take like a slot in one of the days in our week, you, Griff, are excused. But not really, everybody loves Griff. Yeah.
I wonder.
So and we can all say, hey, we're here working on whatever. Sorry, Carla. What?
Oh, I was just gonna ask Chris if he had any uncle-y feedback to give you.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe first the thing about indeed someone like Gustavo. It's like he was there he was in the first meeting, and then he came to the comms meeting as well, I think, and so. I completely agree with Guy. In the beginning, you have to just explore, and there's some people who will be not continuing, and others will, and that's how it works. If they don't find their spot, then it's not meant to be at that moment. And some people persist, like Josh has, and then they get in, so to say. It's like this. It takes time. It'll happen if it has to happen, I think. So feedback. I think, Kai, the fact, and we already talked about it briefly, the fact that Josh came in, it really makes sense. I saw you light up. It's like it brings you energy and joy, so that's a good thing. I think the GovLab is a great initiative. I wish I could join more, but on the other hand, I am fine with not doing so, in the sense that it's for me, it's a good exercise to actually let go and to let this happen and to not want to control everything like I always do. It's just you do your thing and something will come out of it, and when it doesn't, that's fine too. And it's like you said, it's a sort of research and an R&D kind of department, and I think we need that. I think it's a really good thing. I also like the concept of the power chords. So the feedback that I would give there, but I think I've even seen that happening already. But that's indeed try to have different profiles in there so that it becomes something that something that lasts comes out of it. I saw at some point, so Lorelei, for example, the thing that you now do with the Gov maintainer role, that works. That's one of the things that really came out of the GovLab, and that's fantastic because it's spreading the effort over several people, and you guys, I'm just in that group where I'm watching, it's hey, it's happening, and I'm just shutting up. So it's fantastic. So yeah, I would just say continue doing what you do. Another point that I'm reminded of when Lorelei mentioned the delegations that you put an effort in. Yes, you do, and that's beautiful to see. And you do a very similar thing actually with the roles. When you give feedback, you really take your time to give very energizing, thought-through feedback, and that is what makes you indeed to me also the model unicorn. It's beautiful, and when I read your comments, it's always a thing that gives me a lot of energy. So thank you for that. And yeah, just continue doing what you do. I love you. You know that.
Thank you guys very much. That was very beautiful. I feel more energy now. I have to give serious credit here to Josh. Like you mentioned all of the good things you mentioned, or not all of them, but like a big part really come from working with Josh, and many are his like ideas. It's interesting. He feels like when you're testing or when you play tennis with this robot machine that keeps sending the balls, and you get some and some you lose because you maybe didn't want to get that ball, it was too far over, but that's how I feel with working with Josh. It's really cool to have these forces together. And
yeah.
Yeah.
I think in that sense, even like he has, that's my observation. I don't know if it's true, but I think because to me, so I shouldn't be calling you an agent of chaos anymore, but an agent of extropy, like you said. But like he's way more extropic than you are, and in a way, it seems to me that he's like putting you more in that role of like catching some of the balls and like, okay, Josh, that's a great idea, but we're gonna let's do this one seriously. So it energizes you to be responsible and to get some things done. And I think that's a good thing.
It was before a little hard to have because Lorelei did some of that stuff, but it's kind of like, I don't know, Lorelei, you construct your nice models, and it would actually be awesome to work together more also with you, like in this direct sense. Because but even as it currently is, I think we have a good role in Gov. It's just this I wanted to say to you, because I just felt by seeing the stuff you did last week when I was also busy at the hackathon where you also were there. I mean, you don't have to do like stuff alone. You can if you want to, but like if you need or if you want to more interaction while working. We are here. I'm here, and you're here, and Josh is here, and Chris.
We talked about the triads a lot, like in Berlin as well, and like talking about governance. To me, like Lorelei, I see you in the governance area, anyways. Like just to like get the shit organized and get things done, and I see Josh just purely like as an idea and a research guy, and he's just like digging all the time. And I think like the combination of you three, to me, you're like the ideal chord or triad, and so I indeed I agree. I hope that will happen just more and more.
Because Lorelei, you bring so much nice structure to the whole thing, Whereas, I mean, I would love to be able to do that. I sometimes am, but then I go out of that mode and go somewhere else. But you're great so great at that, and I wish we could have even more. So I should not be that governance documentation person. It should be you, or all of us. But it's one of the things where I really see you shine, and you have this perverse, motivation about it, that you really love it in this way, that you go further than other people.
And we need your perversity, your perversion.
Yeah, we always need each other's perversity.
I am definitely perverse about that.
Yeah,
and that's great.
And I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's like they're like they need you for me, like to actually like get it on there and get it documented, and it's a good thing. It's a good combo to me, and I was just talking to Griff and Lorelei before Kai, and it's like it's been one of the toughest 2 months in my life for some more than one reason, and it's just beautiful that you guys are just like continuing, and I want to do more of that, doing less and doing more of the things that make sense to me. And I've seen you do more of the things that make sense to you, and it's like, and indeed Josh has brought in an energy for you, or like something, it puts something in motion, and like that's just Josh as a trigger, but it's actually just you doing you. and that's good.
Sorry, are you talking to Kai or to me?
I was talking to Kai, but
Oh,
maybe
nice.
if it's applicable for you too, Laura, like sure. But it's like I see that Josh has brought an energy to Kai, and that something is in motion.
We're all becoming one, Lorelei.
Yeah.
I'm distracted. Chris is like cuts out, and also Griff refuses to put your guys' faces on the screen. He's doing a bunch of other distracting stuff. So I'm like,
you might rewatch the video. It's quite entertaining, actually, to watch it. You even.
Yeah, I see when you're not watching us.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. I can't tell what's going on. It just keeps cutting out and hasn't done anything about this. Like being able to see the faces helps a lot when the voices are spotty.
Well, the voices are spotty because Griff is doing other stuff. So just stop doing other stuff for a second.
I stopped doing other stuff.
Okay.
Well, beautiful. Kai, is there anything that you think would make the unicorn experiment better right now?
It's a hard question. I think the tool that we built at ETH Paris, could be a cool thing for the unicorns as well. We just have to connect it to Giveth basically, and we could vote on what to like. We could do conviction voting as unicorns on what to fund. So, or maybe that could be like the general thing, like how we allocate like the parts of the funds within the Giveth TAC or whatever.
I would love to see that. I mean, I think the first step is just getting a DAO, replacing Lorelei with a DAO. Like that's the first step.
I mean, yeah, it's half an Aragon app. So if we get somebody at Aragon to take a look at it and try to splice it together with maybe a little Sponnet help or from Loredana, it could be, or actually Pavel even. Pavel could do that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, what we actually to do on that is it's mostly on our side. There's an issue where basically the DAO can't sign in. So if we just allow the DAO to not sign in, if we allow people to not sign in with MetaMask, if we all we need to do literally is add a cancel button to the sign in page.
We just need for the tool we built, we just need that it exists as a website. Or does it exist as a link so we can can grab?
So if we use Frame, a DAO can do this stuff, right? If you install Frame, but we have a bug. Well, it's not a bug, but it's like that like a request to sign in pops up, and there's no way to get rid of it without signing in. And if you could get rid of it without signing in, then the DAO could just click buttons.
What happened to all that work that Jeremy did so that Aragon DAOs could sign in?
Jeremy's work was never finished, and we should stop donating to it because it's probably going to be a canceled milestone because he never finished it. Jeremy's not really a finisher.
This is very valuable information that you should have shared in the Unicorn channel.
Yeah, maybe you guys
I can really ask Pablo if he wants to get more into that kind of stuff. Maybe he has time because he was looking for stuff to.
Who, Guy? Who?
Pablo, who worked with us at ETH Paris Hackathon. And one thing about the thing, what do you? I mean, I came up with the name Gitfire. I don't know. Fire! What's this? So I was giving it to Lorelei, the fire, and so I call it Gitfire.
Gitfire is a great name. Someone has to have done Gitfire. It's too good. I still think we should do it, but.
And are you spelling it Fire, or are you spelling it like Fiya?
It's Fy. Yeah, right. Yeah, Padua.
Yeah.
As a tribute to our friend who just went, what's his name from Prodigy? You know, that's my tribute.
The lead singer for Prodigy who died.
Of Prodigy, or the frontman. What's his name?
Can you tell what they're saying?
It's a guy from a band that died.
Oh.
The Prodigy.
Oh, Prodigy. Guy from Prodigy died? That sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Hey, can we close this meeting? Because I'm
We're
really cold.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, then we should. And you guys
Thank
don't
you so
like
much. We can close it immediately. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being an amazing unicorn, Kai.
Yeah. Playboy Centerfold unicorn right here. I'm telling you. The model unicorn.
All right.
Okay. See you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye, Chris. We love you.
Love you too. Bye.